Did you read that right there? Why don't we just call it what it is? Significant, heavy economic terrorism if you don't bend the knee to the big farm guy. And don't think for a second that this doesn't also apply to you who have already bowed down. Welcome back to High Impact Flix. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. That link and all the other links to my alternative channels are in the description below. Let's go ahead and roll the intro. Hey guys, one of the reasons I promote things on my channel is because I use them. And I use them because I believe they benefit me. They help promote strength, endurance, and energy. Energy? I give you some freaking energy around here. A lot of nature's top fruits and vegetables that support a healthy heart, circulatory system, and high energy happen to be red. So come on, spit it out. Where do we get some of this red stuff? I drink Eternal Reds because it's got 8 specific foods that promotes energy. And these foods would be costly and time consuming to get in your typical diet. So click the link in the description and grab some energy. Speaking of bowing down at the altar of Jabbo, if you don't do it in Quebec, and I'm sure most of you have heard this, they intend on imposing a health tax on people who have not become, and they can call it this all they want to, but this just amounts to not becoming paying customers for what CNN calls the fraudulent, too big to nail big farm guy, specifically Pfizer, or whatever drug company. Basically what they're saying is we're going to exact a tax on you. What happens if you don't pay a tax? You get penalized. What is the end result to you disobeying an edict or a mandate or a tax by government? Men with guns come to your house and they will take you away and throw you into a cage. If you resist, they reserve the right to end your life. That's what this means. So if you have not become a paying customer to the big farm guy, you could literally lose your life if you continue to resist to the end. And they can't have resistance. But there's more to this. It's not just, if you think about it, it is not just a tax on the un-VAXXed. And all the people who are VAXXed applauding this, you guys need to get your heads examined because this is going to fall upon you. It's going to fall upon everyone. And I'll demonstrate that and explain how in a second. The Canadian province of Quebec will charge a health tax to residents who are not paying customers of the big farm guy. Quebec, which has seen the highest number of you-know-what related you-know-whats in Canada, is currently struggling with a surge in these things. On Tuesday, the premier announced that it would be the first in the nation to financially penalize, let's call it what it is, it's economic terrorism, to economically terrorize people who choose not to put a certain product into their bodies. This is infuriating. We're setting all kinds of precedents here. Only about 12.8% of Quebec residents have not bowed down at the altar of Jabbo, but they make up nearly a third of all hospital cases, they say. Really? Well, if you look at the Cat Dog Cat Corporation's website, what do they count as fully VAXXed? Well, if you get your first and second stab wound from Pfizer and Moderna, you're not considered fully VAXXed according to the Cat Dog Cat Corporation until the 15th day after your second shot. That means from day one, or the day you get it, from day 1 to day 14, you are not considered fully VAXXed. Therefore, according to the CDC's own guidelines, you are subjected to that tax until you reach the 15th day. And then what if one day they declare that, well, the fully VAXXed must now include, if you get can you get a little booster with that? Of course we can get a booster with that. Well, then you need to go ahead and get one for public health. Look what it says right here in this article from CTV News. Definition of fully VAXXed, not changing to 3 doses for now. What happens if they do? If you're not what they consider fully VAXXed, then that tax will apply to you once they start shifting the goalposts again. Once they start moving them back and moving them back and moving them back. Oh, it's not enough. Now, because you haven't bowed down 3 times, you're gonna get that, what they call it, financial penalty. The economic terrorism will come your way, financially penalized. So economic terrorism will come your way. You currently fully VAXX people in the eyes of the Cat Dog Cat Corporation. It's coming to you. This thing you're applauding is going to come back to you as you get your third and your fourth and your fifth and your sixth. Bartender, may I have another? What do you mean I'm not considered fully VAXX until I get my 47th? Nobody ever thought that this would come on the scene. That you'd have to get your first and then you'd have to get your second. No one ever thought, the booster, even though we've all been saying this, considering the fourth and the fifth. Got to take care of those variations. The moronic variation. According to federal data, just over 85% of Quebec residents have received at least one VAXX dose by January 1st. The premier said during a news conference that people who have not received their first dose of you-know-what will have to pay a contribution. That's government force coming at you like a freight train. Oh, you're going to pay. You don't pay a thief when a thief robs you, you're not paying the thief. He's taking your money against your will, often at gunpoint. The fee has not yet been decided, but will be significant, he said. Oh, we're going to get you. Oh, you decided to be holdouts, huh? You decided that you didn't want something experimental inside of you, huh? Well, you're going to have to think again. We'll force you to think again. I can't think of another word. I don't think there's a better word to describe what's going on right now than just flat out evil. I think right now it's a question of fairness for the 90% of the population who made some sacrifices. How about who obeyed the government? How about who turned their minds off and shelved their critical thinkings and cemented themselves in their own cognitive dissonance? Why don't you just call them what they are? Just turning your mind off and just trusting the government as though they never harmed you before, as if they've never stolen from you before, by grabbing you by the nape of the neck and making you bow down to the big farm guy, who even the government has claimed, at least in the United States, is a fraudulent organization. Assessed in criminal convictions and jury awards over $3 billion. It's over $4 billion now. Engaging in, according to Google, a Google search, corrupt marketing practices, bribing physicians, and suppressing adverse trial results. That's who they're trying to make you bow down and genuflect before. And institute economic terrorism on you if you don't. That is what's going on. So I can't stand... my brothers and sisters in Canada, come on, you 12% or whatever. I don't even believe this number right here. I bet it's way, way higher than that. They're just trying to shame a bunch of people by putting a number up on the board. You're just the 12% hold. Look, the 90% are fine. The 80%, 88% or whatever it is, 89%. I think we owe them this kind of measure. The people who bowed down and submitted and turned their minds off and didn't do their posterity a favor by submitting to the government, I think we owe them a reward. And that reward is, we won't tax you. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. It's coming. I thought 2 was enough. They told me 2 would be enough. They told me 3 would be enough. They told me 121 would be enough. Man, they can shake that money tree all day, all night for years and years to come, and there's nothing you can do about it if you decide to lay down right now. Last week, the province announced that it would require proof of VAXX to shop in government cannabis and liquor stores. There should be no such thing as government cannabis and liquor stores. Who's funding that? Oh, that's right. You are. Now, you can have these drugs. They used to be illegal. You can have them now because the government's selling them. The only reason the government made it illegal is because that's how they eliminate their competition. They can't have competition. That's what the government does. They eliminate their competition. A curfew is also in place. This is hilarious to me. Curfews are for children. Curfews are something that's instituted by an adult parent to a child. Sam, you need to be home by 10 o'clock tonight. Sally, you need to make sure that you're not out on the street at 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what parents do, not governments. It's laughable that if my Oklahoma government made a curfew, I would make it a point to be out from 10 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning. And I would encourage everybody else to do the same. Do the exact opposite. Completely ignore anything the political parasites have drawn up for us to follow. Curfew is also in place The second one of the planned organized partial shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter, because that's what it is, according to James Bullard from the Federal Reserve in St. Louis, running from 10 o'clock p.m. till 5 o'clock a.m. each day. On Tuesday, Quebec's death toll from you-know-what reached, oh my gosh, horrible levels. We can believe them. And then it just goes on and on. But the bottom line here is this article is laughable because you should read it the way it should be read. Quebec to impose tyranny upon people who refuse to bow down at the altar of the big farm guy. And just finishing it out, they can change that. This is a sliding scale. They can move the goalposts anytime they want to. Oh, by the way, you're not VA-XX anymore. Here, you need to get VA-XX in the next 30 days or that tax is going to apply to you too. Give them an inch. They'll take a mile. We should know this. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flix, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.